to day 2 of Rally Australia. This fast and very slippy rally has already taken its toll on the drivers and their cars. The drama started almost immediately as Marcus Gronholm headed into the first stage on Friday, still chasing his title dreams. But just 5 kilometres into the stage, he hit a rock on the inside of a right-hander that bounced him out into the slippy Australian gravel, and he rolled off the road. He did finish the stage but lost 11 minutes. He and his co-driver Timo Rautiainen had to endure horrendous conditions in the car for the next 4 stages as they were forced to drive without windows.
Has this handed the championship to Sebastian Loeb?
Yeah, I think it's difficult, but I think he deserves it because he was leading so comfortable. So, okay, stupid mistake from him.
Gronholm needs to finish at least 3rd here to keep his title chances alive. He's 18th overall after day 1. Citroen's Danny Sordo was the next casualty as his car ground to a halt just 500 metres into the first stage with transmission failure. Not what the team needed if they are to challenge Ford for the manufacturer's crown. Stage 3 then claimed its 3rd victim. Matthew Wilson hitting the same rock as Gronholm, but instead of rolling, he broke his steering arm and was unable to continue any further. The Stobart team's day turned from bad to worse as Luis Perez Compag in their 2nd car rolled on stage 4 and also retired from the rally. It was left to Chris Atkinson to set the pace as for the 2nd year in a row the local boy took the lead of his home event. But on stage 6 he slid wide and beached the car. To add insult to injury, the exhaust set fire to the bush and then the car, forcing his retirement. Henning Solberg was looking to build on his success in Turkey, but on the same stage his rally came to an end as he overcooked a left-hander and rolled almost 50 metres off the stage. The damage was so bad that he will not restart today. Henning's brother Petter then took the lead of the rally on stage 7, but trouble wasn't far away as he overshot a junction on stage 8 and saw his lead reduced to 1.3 seconds. And controversy was just around the next bend as Solberg was forced to stop on stage 9 due to huge dust clouds that wouldn't clear. He lost 27 seconds and with it the lead. That left Ford's Mikko Hirvonen with a 26-second lead at the end of the day. It was a good result for the number 2 driver who had to endure the pressure of driving past his stranded teammate on the first stage, knowing the team's hopes were now firmly on him. Chevy Pons finished the day 3rd, having kept his nose clean whilst half of the field fell away. Manfred Stoll is 4th in the OMV Peugeot as he also profited from the retirements on day 1 and a bit of luck of his own. So confirmation that Mikko Hirvonen takes a 26-second lead into the day's opening stage. Petter Solberg will be pushing him hard as he is desperate to stand on the top of the podium once again. Pons is 3rd with Manfred Stoll 4th. The locals will be delighted to see Dean Herridge in 5th. Day 2 takes place to the south of Perth on the west coast of Australia. There's 7 stages and 2 super specials for the drivers to complete for a total of 120 competitive kilometres. The highlight will be the 2 passes through the famous Bunnings jumps. Bannister North is the first stage of the day and it includes the famous jumps. After yesterday's dust problems, the cars are starting 3 minutes apart. Matthew Wilson starts the day's proceedings in his Stobart VK Ford. This is the young Englishman's first outing here in Australia and of course his first trip through the now infamous Bunnings jumps. Let's see how he tackles them for the first time at competitive speed. Manfred Stoll starts the day in 4th place, just 9.2 seconds behind Chevy Pons. Stoll's the only remaining OMV Peugeot after his teammate Henning Solberg crashed out yesterday. Stoll sets the fastest time so far. Pons is in the stage and he will have Stoll's splits in his car, and he will know that Stoll is fast. But the Spaniard also knows that he cannot afford to take too many risks. The team are desperate for him to score good manufacturer's points. There's Stoll's time, and Pons is nearing the finish. He's not going to beat Stoll's time. He's 6.5 seconds slower and now only 2.7 seconds ahead of Stoll. Marcus Grolheim starts today in 18th, and he can realistically expect to climb as high as 5th overall. However, he needs to finish 3rd if he's to keep any hopes of winning the Drivers' Championship alive. One thing you can be certain of is that he will be pushing hard today. Chris Atkinson starts today in 37th place after his retirement yesterday. Unfortunately for the local hero, it's now a case of pleasing the crowds and using the rally as a test for the final 2 events of the season.
Black grid 69 right.
Petter Solberg starts the stage in 2nd, 26 seconds behind the leader Mikko Hirvonen. It's been almost a year since he stood on the top step of the podium, and he feels this is as good an opportunity as he's likely to get this season. He knows these stages better than most, and just look at his commitment. Grolheim has set the pace for the stage so far, and this will be a good gauge of Petter's.
Keep in, to keep right to the crest, into 6 left bus narrow, 6 right bus, 150. Okay.
Not bad, he's 0.3 of a second slower than Grolheim.
How are you feeling about your driving? Can you really go for it today once you get the feeling?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a little bit difficult to keep in the ruts properly and get the proper grip, but I'm trying.
Mikko Hirvonen has never won a rally, and he must surely be considering his chances going into today's stages. This is a massive opportunity for the young Finn, but he also knows that he must keep the car on the road to continue the team's push towards the manufacturer's title. He's trying hard. Just look at his commitment over the famous jumps. That's Petter's time. It's going to be close. He wins the stage and beats Petter by 2 seconds, increasing his lead to 28.2.
How are your nerves?
Fine, like a rock.
So after the first stage of the day, Hirvonen has increased his lead to 28.2 seconds. There's a real battle brewing for 3rd and 4th as Manfred Stoll is pushing Chevy Pons. PWRC driver Toshi Arai takes 5th. Pons is only 2.7 seconds ahead of Manfred Stoll. Will he be able to hang on to 3rd? Welcome back to day 2 of Rally Australia. Mikko Hirvonen has a 28-second lead as we go back to the action with stages 13 and 14. Matthew Wilson is using this rally to gain as much experience as possible after a disappointing start yesterday. He's overshot that junction, which won't help his confidence, but at least he is still going. Manfred Stoll is on a charge this morning and has set his sights firmly on Chevy Pons' 3rd place. He beat Pons by 6.5 seconds on the previous stage and is now only 2.7 seconds behind the Citroën driver. There's Stoll's target time for the stage. Anything quicker than that and 3rd place will be his. It's going to be close. He's done it. He takes 3rd place, but only by 0.1 of a second. Pons is not going to lie down, and he hits back on stage 14. He beats Stoll, but by only 0.1 of a second, and that means the drivers are now tied in 3rd after 164 kilometres of racing. Marcus Gronholm continues his climb up the leaderboard. He's now just over 4 minutes behind Toshi Arai, who's 5th overall. It's a feasible target as he's now taken over 1.5 minutes out of Toshi's time in the first 3 stages today. Petter Solberg needs to start taking time out of Hirvinen's lead before the Ford driver puts too big a distance between them. He starts the stage 28 seconds behind Hirvinen.
18. Turn narrow, 4 right minus, tighten short, 100. Caution narrow.
Hirvinen must have his heart in his mouth. He is in with his best ever chance of his first rally win, and yet he knows he must finish in the points for the team. Mikko proves too quick for Solberg and increases his lead, but by only 0.3 of a second over both stages. The battle is far from over. 3 stages down and Hirvinen's lead is approaching an almost comfortable 30 seconds. But look at the 3rd spot. There's literally nothing to separate Pons in the Citroën and Stoll in the Peugeot. The drivers head to regroup for a chance to collect themselves before the final run through the banister stages.
Mikko driving with confidence and still out front.
Yeah, well, and managed to keep better behind and be a bit faster, so far it's been very good.
Do you think victory is possible on your own pace, or does he have to make a mistake?
Well, we will see. We still have something to go, and maybe the second time through the stages, maybe we can gain a little bit more time. So I will at least try.
Are you really doing your own rally and not worrying about Manfred's times, or do you look at the times and think, right, I've got to put my foot down and go a little bit quicker?
Yeah, it's not easy, no, but it's important to continue in this position for the team and for me. It's a good result, but it's not easy because Manfred pushing very hard.
You feel confident. Do you have something left in reserve? Can you push harder now and really stake that 3rd place as your own?
I feel it's possible, but you know, on this rally you never know what happens in the next corner. Everything is possible, and but for the moment I feel okay.
So this is it, the last chance for the drivers to tackle one of the most famous sections of stage in the World Rally Championship, the Bunnings Jumps, as well as the last chance for the spectators. Mikko Hirvinen has had a great start to the day, beating Solberg in the first 3 stages. Here he comes to the famous Bunnings Jumps. Just look at his commitment. Here comes Solberg. He needs to hit back soon if he is to stand any chance of challenging Hirvinen. It's been a tough year for the Subaru team, and a win would put a whole new look on the season. He's approaching the jumps. He will be getting Mikko's splits in the car, and he will know that he's catching the Ford driver. The finish isn't far away.
The 2 right minus. Keep in to keep right to the crest. 6 left plus narrow. 6 right plus, 150.
He beats Hirvinen by 3.2 seconds and reduces the gap to 25.3 seconds. But he needs more of the same. Chevy Pons in the Citroën comes into the stage tied in 3rd place with Manfred Stoll. He will be feeling mixed emotions as he will desperately want to make it onto the podium for the first time, but at the back of his mind he knows he needs to score points for the team. Manfred Stoll has no such worries. He'll be able to concentrate on his own rally and push as hard as he possibly can. He will be looking to put as much pressure on Pons as possible. Here he is on the Bunnings Jumps for the final time. There's Pons' stage time. Remember, they're dead level going into the stage. It's looking good for Stoll. Yes, he beats Pons by 8.7 seconds to make 3rd his own. Marcus Gronholm has always been a showman, and it seems only fitting that he is the last person we see over these famous jumps. It's been a mixed day for the Production Championship drivers who are making up the second half of the leaderboard. Dean Herridge started the day 5th overall, but gearbox problems have caused him to drop to 9th. Toshi Arai is now 5th, which is better than he managed in a WRC car in Japan. Marcus Legato has had a storming day. He started the day 10th overall and he's now up to 6th. Back to that fight for the final podium place between Manfred Stoll and Chevy Pons. The Spaniard's best result was 4th at his home event last year, but that was on tarmac. He's attacking hard to regain 3rd position from Stoll. In contrast to his young rival, Manfred has real pedigree on loose surfaces and can take confidence from his 3rd place finish here last season. We're about to find out if the Austrian has maintained his advantage. Yes, he continues where he left off on the previous test to beat Pons again. He's now 11.4 seconds ahead. Petter Solberg, meanwhile, is still giving his all to stay in touch with the rally leader, Mikko Hirvonen. The Norwegian will no doubt be relishing this opportunity to once again be fighting for a rally win. Hirvonen has beaten Petter on 3 of the 4 stages already this morning and won't have appreciated his small setback on the previous test. It certainly appears to have woken him up. It's another scratch time for Mikko on stage 16 and another 1.1 seconds put between himself and Solberg. Hirvonen's lead over Petter Solberg is now 26.4 seconds. Manfred Stoll has extended his lead over Pons to 11.4 seconds. The crews return to Perth, giving them time to contemplate the battle ahead while the mechanics go to work on the cars.
You've won a few rallies in your time now. What do you think Mikko's thinking at the moment? Because he must be quite nervous. He's never won a rally.
No, but Mikko is driven a lot of rallies and a lot of experience, but I'm sure he's nervous, and it's many interesting things that's going through his mind, I'm sure, but I haven't given up yet.
It's 26 seconds. Petter says he's going to put a big attack on in the next few stages. I mean, what's your response to that?
Well, I have to fight back, of course, but still keep in mind the manufacturer's point so that Malcolm keep him happy as well. But, you know, it's quite a difficult situation. I would like to push as hard as I can, but I need to back off a little bit in places.
It's not easy for him, and he make a very good rally deal now, and I think it's harder for him than for me.
Do you feel that you need to think more about the Manufacturers' Championship? You want to get a podium, of course, but you need those points to beat Ford.
Yeah, it's not easy, no, because for the team it's a good result. But for me, I like the podium, no, but it's important to finish the rally for the team.
But will Chevy Pons be able to challenge Manfred Stoll for 3rd place? Welcome back to day 2 of Rally Australia. Let's head straight back to the action with the crew's second run through barracking. Toshi Arai heads the production championship. He's also up to 5th overall in the rally.
Kinks 40, flat left over crest. Oh.
He's off. That's a disaster for Arai. That not only ends his day, but also ends his bid to retain his production title.
Pace is not so hard, but very standard pace. But suddenly broken the ball joint in the last bend, so then cannot control because the tire is completely this side, so cannot control. Then come to here, so I'm very, very disappointed.
Arai's misfortune is a huge bonus for Marcus Legato, who's now up to 5th and on course for his best ever finish. Back to the WRC cars, and Petter Solberg is trying his hardest to put pressure on Mikko Hirvonen. But hard as he tries, he can only manage to take small chunks out of Mikko's lead. Hirvonen has had an exceptional drive so far, keeping Solberg at arm's length. This is the longest stage of the day, so he will be very keen not to let the Norwegian catch him. He's slower than Solberg, but by only 1.5 seconds. He won't mind that.
8, vasen täys, 150, huomio, varo.
Manfred Stoll continues his dominance over Chevy Pons, beating the Citroën driver again, but only by 0.6 of a second. He's now 12 seconds ahead of Pons. Petter Solberg claws back some time against Hirvonen, but he's still 24.9 seconds behind the Ford driver. Chevy Pons, though, continues to slip away from Manfred Stoll. He's 12 seconds behind the Austrian. Marcus Gronholm has been charging up the leaderboard. He started the day in 18th, and he's now up to 8th overall. He's now less than a minute behind Legato in 5th.
Pitkä kirraa. Tosi hidas pitkä kirraa. Ja vasen hidas suppu. 120 ja nyppy eri plus. Siinä on.
Chevy Pons once again fails to make any impression on Manfred Stoll. He's 9.8 seconds slower than Stoll and now 21.8 seconds behind the Austrian. It looks like his hopes of a first podium are fading. Petter Solberg has given his all today, and still he hasn't been able to make any real headway into Hirvonen's lead.
Keep into crest, one right.
One thing Petter does is never give up, and Hirvonen will know that.
100, keep middle of a jump, and crest, and dip, 40, keep left of the long crest, 20, don't cut, 6 right plus.
Mikko Hirvonen is closing in on his first ever rally win. It's been a great drive from the young Finn as he has soaked up everything the experienced Solberg could throw at him. He consolidates his lead again on stage 18, beating Solberg by 4.4 seconds. That takes his lead up to a shade under 30 seconds.
Ja lyhyt oikein täys. Ja vasen täys miinus kirraa 100. Oikein tosi hidas kirraa vähän.
So after 2 runs through the Super Specials, there's no real changes other than Marcus Gronholm, who moves up 1 place to 7th. But the star of the day has been Mikko Hirvonen, who now leads the rally by 32.3 seconds.
Today, Manfred, I push very hard, but okay, it's 20 seconds. It's possible, but not easy. Okay, tomorrow it's important to continue in these conditions and improving every stage, and it's possible.
Have you been satisfied with your driving so far? Because you really outpaced Chevy Pons this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, we know from yesterday we was wrong with the setup. We changed it yesterday afternoon, but then we could not push because of the dust. And I pushed today and it works quite okay, and now I'm happy with the setup also.
Petter, you've had a good day, but Mikko's had a better day. That's the problem.
It's a problem, yeah. It's a problem for us, and that's how it is. Maybe it shows a little bit too soft high on the 2 last stages, but still he have been, you know, we have been taking him a little bit on 1 stage, and then he have been taking 1/10, 2/10, 2 seconds, and it's been very, very close. But obviously he's been quicker today, and that's it.
You've never won a rally before. Ford want to win the Manufacturers' Championship and try and help Marcus in the Drivers' Championship. How well are you going to sleep tonight?
Very well. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. I just keep on doing the job I've done, and if I can keep better behind and get the win, that's perfect. But if something else happens, it's fine. I think I proved now that I'm able to match and fight for the win and do good stage times under pressure. So I'm not worried about what's going to come tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow for the final day of Rally Australia. If you need more information, then try out the official website at WRC.com.